Hello viewers, good afternoon. Welcome to Science TV News. My name is ELVIS ODHIAMBO, the sign language interpreter for today's Jedida Wafula. Now, let's focus on the news. President William Ruto reaffirmed his commitment to proceeding with the administration affordable housing initiative despite the Court of Appeal's recent decision not to suspend a High Court order declaring the house levy unconstitutional. Addressing the public in Kitweni, Meru County on Friday, Ruto insisted that despite the court ruling, he enjoys public backing to proceed with housing program aimed at generating employment opportunity for Kenyan youth. The Court of Appeal, in its Friday ruling, maintained that the housing levy lacked a legal framework when introduced.
Mimi nataka niwaambie wale wameenda kotini ati kuzuia hii mpango ya housing. I want to tell them there is no greater public interest than the employment of millions of citizens who for a long time have never had an opportunity to work in their country because there has been no plan on how to employ young people in Kenya. For the first time, the government of Kenya, through a popular vote in our manifesto, have a plan on how to create jobs in Kenya through the housing program. I want to say, for the avoidance of doubt, we are already making the law that the court authorized that we go and make the law. They should have given us a chance to complete the law, but we are going to complete the law and we are going to go forward with making sure that we create opportunities for jobs for the young people of our country, because that is what the people of Kenya want. That is the right thing to do, and that is where public interest is. Tumekubaliana jameni? Tunaelewana? Tuko pamoja ama tuko pamoja? Kuna watu wananiambia wameenda kotini ati tusimamishe ajira ya hawa vijana. Na wao wako na ajira.
The Kenya Kwanza government now says it will appeal the decision of the High Court declaring the deployment of the Kenya Police to Haiti. Government spokesperson Dr. Isaac Mwaura, in a statement, noted that although the administration respects the rule of law, it is determined to bring peace to the Caribbean nation, hence will not abandon that mission easily. A High Court ruling on Friday declared the intended deployment of Kenyan police officers to Haiti as illegal. Justice Chacha Mwita stated that the National Security Council lacks the authority to deploy police officers to another country. Despite the National Security Council having endorsed the deployment proposal, Parliament's approval was sought, and it was granted by the National Assembly last October.
A declaration is hereby issued that sections 107, 108, and 109 of the National Police Service Act, which provide for deployment of police officers outside the country under reciprocal arrangement to reciprocating countries, are constitutional and valid. 2. A declaration is hereby issued that National Security Council has no mandate to deploy police officers outside Kenya under Article 240, Sub-Article 8 of the Constitution or any other law. A declaration, that's number 3, is hereby issued that any decision by any state organ or state officer to deploy police officers to Haiti and any other action, any further action or steps taken by any state organ or state officer in furtherance of such a decision contravenes the Constitution and the law and is therefore unconstitutional, illegal, and invalid. An order is hereby issued prohibiting deployment of police officers to Haiti or any other country otherwise than in compliance with Part 14, that is sections 107 and 108 of the National Police Service Act. And finally, this being a public interest litigation, I make no order on costs. Thank you.
On to the next news. Chief Justice Martha Koome
Hello.
urged the National Lands Commission to uphold the rule of law and restore public trust and confidence in the commission. In a speech delivered by Justice Wanjala during the launch of the National Land Commission Investigation and Inquiry Practitioner's Guide, the commission was further urged to follow the guidelines in solving land cases to reduce cases backlog.
A declaration is hereby issued that sections 107, 108, and 109 of the National Police Service Act, which provide for deployment of police officers outside the country under reciprocal arrangement to a reciprocate.
NLC practitioners with this invaluable resource, we empower them to root out injustice and uphold the rule of law, to resolve disputes efficiently and definitively, to restore trust and confidence in the land governance system, to build a stronger, more equitable future for all Kenyans. The facts. We have a backlog of cases. Thousands of Kenyans wait years, some even decades, for justice to be served. This burden weighs heavily on their lives. It is rightly said that justice delayed is justice denied. Therefore, I believe that this guide will assist in bringing the much-needed hope by reducing the number of land and land-related cases that end up in our courts.
These guidelines should find their way to Parliament because you need regulations. And without regulations, you're going to still have a problem.
Of course, a lot of times, national government, being the big brother, would want to use a bit more muscle against the smaller brothers. So we try to balance that to ensure that as we manage land, both for national and county governments, we ensure that everybody keeps to their lane.
It's also addressing pressing and historical injustice. While pressing and historical present and historical injustice, whether seeking redress for colonial depressions, dispossessions, or present-day land grabs, the guide provides pathway for voicing historical grievances and seeking the resolution.
Structures, methods, and procedures necessary for conducting investigations. It identifies the roles and responsibilities of internal and external.
Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen announced Kenyans will soon have to pay to use major roads in the country. The CS made the announcement during the launch of the Kenya National Highway Authority Strategy Plan for 2023 to 2027. This even as the government seeks more sustainable ways to fund the cost of maintaining roads.
The template is already there with what we did with the expressway. I believe that we can toll the road from Athi River to Namanga. I believe that it is possible to toll the road from Galeria to Rongai to Ngong and back to Karen Shopping Center. For us to expand and toll the road of Kiambu Road. The good news is that we have so many alternative routes along these corridors that those who do not wish to pay toll fees, we will give them those alternative roads. Look at the money allocated to Kenya in the road maintenance levy, the 40%. I can say without fear of contradiction that Kenya in the next 2 years will not be able to meet its responsibilities in terms of maintaining the roads to the standards they have done before.
On to the next news item. A group of leaders in Siaya have accused the Orange Democratic Movement, that is ODM leadership, of orchestrating a plan to tarnish the reputation of senior government officials with the aim of having them removed from their prestigious positions. Game Member of Parliament Elisha ODHIAMBO and United Democratic Alliance Siaya County official Frederick Oyugi Dor led the charge, calling on ODM officials, particularly Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, to focus on issues promoting harmony and national development rather than engaging in personal attacks. The leaders made this statement at Nyamanin Mixed Secondary School, where ODHIAMBO joined students and teachers for a lunch celebrating the school's performance in the last year's KCSE results.
I heard the Senator Sifuna talking carelessly in Lamu. And I want to ask him, when he opens his mouth, let him be a bit careful. I want to request him, if he wants to talk about any leader in this country, let him focus on Nairobi County and Bungoma County, where he comes from. Let him not talk about Raymond Omolo, who is one of the senior most Luos in government. Let him not castigate one of us with a view to making sure he's unpopular so that the government can remove him from his job. That will not happen. Let him focus on Bungoma. Let him talk about those people from Bungoma who are working in government, instead of spending time talking about Dr. Raymond Omolo, who is the PS Interior. That nonsense must come to an end. And ODM as a party must be reasonable, must be calculative to talk about issues, not personalities. Because issues will help the country. Personalities will not help anybody.
Kwa majina naitwa Frederick ODHIAMBO Oyugi Dor, ambaye kwa ufupi naitwa Food. Na mimi kwa sasa nagombea kiti ya kuwa mwenyekiti wa chama wa UDA hapa Siaya. Nataka kumuuliza Bwana Sifuna, badala ya kuingilia wafanyikazi wa serikali wa UDA, wafanyikazi wa serikali wenye wanafanya kazi vizuri, kwanza ajiulize maswali yeye mwenyewe.
On to the next news item. The Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, have marked the International Customs Day with a focus on the efficiency custom operation, and personnel have demonstrated on key borders entry point in the country. Speaking during the celebration at the KRA offices in Shimoni, Kwale, Southern Region Coordinator Lawrence Siele said that the authority have made significant strides in streamlining the customs department with implementation of efficient working machines and policies that have seen custom operation conform to international acceptable standards.
The authority in September last year streamlined the export process of tea by enhancing the ICMS system to collapse 6 multiple bonds associated with tea clearance to just 2 critical bonds. This has reduced the cargo dwell time for tea at the port of Mombasa and is expected to make the tea exported from the port of Mombasa more competitive in the international market. And that was the request which had been made by our partners at the EAC and the people who sell tea to Pakistan and the rest of the countries. In August last year, the authority added the clearance of fresh produce to the green, to what is called the green channel, produce like avocado, mangoes, flowers, pineapples, and citrus fruits. This enables exporters of these products to get priority in clearance at the way bridges, border points, and port of entry. Following this action, it is envisaged that Kenyan fresh produce will reach the foreign market in good time to competitively fetch better prices in the market.
What we have seen is that sometimes there used to be a bit of delays in movement of cargo, but the implementation of the resolution to have the goods weighed once at the port and then at exit. That has really helped in reducing multiple way bridges. So we are working with the other partner government agencies because KRA normally monitors this cargo as they move along the transit corridor through what is called the regional electronic cargo tracking system. So we monitor these goods, and then Kenya are able to weigh them once and at the entrance and at the exit. That has really helped us to reduce the transit time.
You've talked of the bonds. What has the authority been able to do with the teeth that is being cleared by the authority?
Yeah.
And finally, civil society groups in Baringo County are decrying rise of deliberate efforts by certain government officials to defeat justice of sexual offenses against children. Group's chairperson Isaiah Biwott said they have received numerous complaints from some residents who lament that they have been obstructed from getting justice for their children who are victims of offenses, especially defilement and sodomy. Speaking to the press in Cabernet Town on Friday, Biwott decried that gender-based violence, that is GBV cases in the country, was on the rise due to corrupt practices by some officials from National and Civil Registration Department, Judiciary, and the National Police Service.
The authority in September last year streamlined the export process of tea by enhancing the ICMS system to collapse 6 multiple bonds associated with tea clearance to just 2 critical bonds. This has reduced.
Thank you for watching Science TV. That was all that we had for you here at Science TV. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, that is Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. My name is ELVIS ODHIAMBO. My sign language interpreter has been Jedida Wafula. Enjoy your afternoon and also enjoy your lunch. Thank you.